gonna wait another minute just in case anyone else comes in. So I don't really, if I'm being real, I don't really have like a solid plan of what we're gonna do. All I know is what peak pose I wanna get to and what shapes we wanna make. If you have a foam roller, grab it, because I wanna do just a teensy bit of foam rolling today. If you don't have one, anything round in shape will work, or a block will work too. And I'll show you how to use a block for what we're doing. But I really want to get into those shoulder muscles. How do I make this full screen? Here we go. Perfect. So I have all of you in my ear. So if you have any questions during class, just hit unmute and feel free to let me know. Okay. So foam roller, 2 blocks, water. Let's start in a seat. I've been enjoying starting in a seat because I find that even when I was going to practice in the studio, I'd lay on my back and I'd want to go to sleep. And I just ate curry for dinner and had some Saint Germain and iced tea. So to prevent the sleepies, let's start in a seat, cross-legged. As we do often, bring the opposite leg that you would normally cross in front, just to break a habit. Palms face up or down, maybe hand on the heart, whatever you're feeling like you're needing. Maybe a mudra with the hands. And then let's just take a couple moments here. I've been playing with also taking a couple moments before just closing my eyes and trying to plug into my breath. I've been playing with taking a few moments to get really situated. So let's roll our chin to our chest, bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Bring your chin almost up to the sky, and then back down to the right, through center, and to the left. So taking almost complete circles with the neck. We'll do a few of those. Just loosening up any tension from our day. And then we'll meet with our chin back to center. Bring your chin back up to parallel with the floor. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. 2 more. Up, back, and down. 1 more. Good. And then take the flesh from underneath the sits bones, move it aside, feel planted and rooted in your tailbone. And then readjust yourself into your seat now that we've got some kinks worked out. Just a very gentle draw of the navel to the spine. Sit up tall. Pull your ears back over your shoulders. And then together, let's take 3 cleansing breaths. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to your regular breath in and out. Keeping this awareness. Starting to cultivate ujjayi, as if you're trying to whisper to somebody nearby. Gently constrict the back of the throat, allowing the breath to become audible. Just another thing to focus on during practice. Another method of keeping focus during our practice is by creating that sound. We not only have the focus on the breath, but we have the focus on the sound of the breath. And anytime you notice that sound is missing from your practice, you know what to do. Slow down, down dog, child's pose, and restore the ujjayi. And then set your intention for this on the fly little practice we're having together. Whatever your hope is for the next 75 or so minutes, whatever your goal is, whatever your intention is, choose something that resonates, something that feels authentic. It can be as simple as just breathing, as just exercise or sweating. It doesn't have to be super deep, but what's calling to you? Now let's feel those intentions in. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, sigh. Blink the eyes open. Grab your foam roller. If you don't have a foam roller, grab your block. I'll demonstrate with both things. And we're gonna lie on one side. Let's all lie on our left side, just so we're on the same page, or whatever way you can switch sides on your mat so you can see the screen. So with your foam roller or block, if you're using a block, you're gonna bring it on the medium setting. Wine glass also works, or if you have tune-up balls, those work too. It'll just be a little more targeted. And you're just gonna bring your elbow down, rest your head, just like a French girl. And you want that foam roller or block to be in your armpit. And then we're gonna target the lats and the inferior scapula muscles that help with shoulder rotation, which is gonna help us get deeper into our back bend. So if you're using a block, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be a lot more intense because you have this pointy edge, this sharp edge that's gonna be pushing in there. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna lean back, like you're gonna lay your head back on something. Those are the more scapula muscles. And then when you lean a little bit more forward, you're gonna get onto the lat. And just take a couple moments and roll back and roll forward. If you're on a foam roller, you can go back and forth, and then you can also roll up and down until you find that spot that feels really tender. You can also stretch your arm out. You have to support the neck a little bit, or you can rest it down, but whichever is gonna make it feel more intense for you. And then after a couple moments of forward and back, I can't remember the name of that, but when you massage the muscle side to side, it has a specific name. It's really good for it. I want you to pause in a spot that feels really tender and just hold there. A couple breaths. Most of you know because most of you follow me on Instagram because that's how you found out about this class, but just by foam rolling my lats and the muscles around my armpit, I have completely gotten rid of this chronic pinch I've had in my right shoulder for as long as I can remember practicing yoga. Anytime my arms would be up and overhead in down dog or puppy pose or any shoulder opener, I would feel this pinch that would not go away, and it's finally starting to dissipate just by finding more mobility. Good, and let's just switch sides. We won't spend too long foam rolling. This is all we're gonna do. I'm gonna switch directions just so you can see me still. And same thing, just start rolling back, rolling forward, getting both those scapula muscles as well as where the lat connects in the arm. My arm wants to be straight today. I'm feeling it more when I straighten my arm. And depending on, of course, where you hold a lot of tension, maybe you have a lot of shoulder flexion range. Maybe you don't feel this as much. That's a good thing. And then just like before, find a spot that feels really tender. If you have a lot of spots that feels tender, go more in the lat, so go a little bit more forward if you need to pick one. But if you find that one spot that's like, whew, just pause there, take a few breaths, ease into it. Don't hold in that shoulder. Physically melt into your blocker foam roller. Release down. Oh, feels so good already. Good. And then release. Set your foam roller block aside. And let's come into tabletop. Knees under the hips, tuck the toes. We're going to warm up the wrist. Wrist flexion is a really big part of wheel pose. It's a lot of this a lot of having mobility here. So let's do just that. Fingertips towards the knees, wrists facing forward, fingers are spread. You can walk your knees in a little bit closer as well. And then just start to sit your butt back towards your heels, keeping your elbows as straight as possible. Wrists stay planted. Just a couple breaths. If it feels good, I like to rock a little bit side to side. Sometimes all it takes is that tiniest little change of motion or direction for you to find that, like, whoa, that's where I need to be feeling the stretch. Everybody's body, if there's anything I've learned from my teacher training, because I just finished my second module, it's that every single person's body is so similar but so different, and it's honestly the most amazing thing. Good. Lean forward very slowly and switch sides. So palms are now face up, wrists still facing forward, spread your fingers. If you can't get your wrists down without bending your elbows, that's okay, let the elbows bend. And then just sink your hips back. Getting these wrists timed and ready for our adventures today. Good. And then lean forward, release, take some slow little wrist circles. And then tabletop. Wrists are nice and warm. Spread the fingers really wide. On your inhale, cow pose. Drop the belly, arch the spine. Let's take a couple breaths here. First back bend of the practice. Draw your shoulders back. Allow your neck to be relaxed. Pull your navel to your spine. Allow your rib cage to sink down, but try and claw the mat with your fingertips and drag your fingertips towards the back of your mat. Good. On your next exhale, push the floor away, cat pose around the spine. Again, let's take a couple breaths here. Just feel it out. Feel the intricacies of the pose. Imagine rather than your scapula doing the work, imagine your core is pushing your spine up. Your ribs and your belly are rounding the spine. They're pushing against the spine to push it up towards the ceiling. Good. Next breath in, move towards your cow. Same thing, belly is dropped down. Claw the mat, drag your hands back in space. Exhale, roll through your cat. Push the floor, use your core. Don't let your belly drop. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cow. Good. Inhale, neutral table. Tuck the toes, hips up and back, downward dog. Something I realized taking class from Jason for now 4 weeks of my year is that he almost never cues cat and cow at the beginning of class, which is something I've always done, and I've missed it, man. Missed it. Good. Couple breaths. Feeling out your down dog, feeling out the length in the spine. Maybe pedaling the feet, maybe shaking the head. And then lift up onto your toes, drop both heels and your hips to the left, push down through your right arm. I feel this very intensely, not in my side body, but I feel this really intensely in my right armpit, kind of those muscles we just rolled out. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hips to the right, heels to the right. Keep pressing down through that left hand. Let your weight pull you to the right. Get that big stretch in the left side. Good. Inhale back to center. Come to a half plank, half down dog. So you're in this really awkward position. Spin your web of your hand. So this web between your thumb and index finger, rather than having your index fingers pointing up towards the mat, bring the web towards the top of your mat. So both your hands are clocking out a little bit more, maybe more than normal, or maybe you already put your hands this way. Then from this awkward in-between pose, push the floor away like you're doing cat pose. Feel your scapula separate, push the floor around the spine, keep all that. And then let the hips go up and back into downward dog. And just notice how that feels. This is a big adjustment for me, bringing the web of my hand up, and it feels so much better in my shoulders because your hand placement 100% influences the rotation of your shoulder, and that external rotation is most ideal placement of that upper arm bone in this pose, in this load-bearing pose. Good. Inhale, roll back forward to that half down dog position. Feel free to switch the hands back if you hate it. Push the floor away, round the spine like cat pose, and then downward facing dog. Push the floor away as you push your feet towards the back of the mat. Good. On your next inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, take a big step to the top of your mat, feet hip-width distance apart. Good, knees soft, shake out the head, relax the arms. We were in down dog for a little bit, a very active one too. Kind of let them flop, let them melt. Interlace the hands behind the back of your skull. Grab the occipital bone, so that's basically the base of the skull, with your wrist, kind of clench onto it. And don't pull down, but just getting that squeezing action adds a little bit more traction to the cervical spine and feels really nice. Good, release the hands down. Inhale, halfway lift. Lift your shoulders high enough to be in line with your hips. Reach your hands back like airplane pose. Spin your pinky fingers down, palms to the floor. Good. Now spin your thumbs down, feel the difference. Internal rotation, spin the pinky fingers down, palms to the floor, external. Feel those external rotator muscles in the upper back and the upper arm bone work. Good, take an inhale. Exhale, release, fold. Inhale, bend your knees, push the floor away as you rise up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Do some salutations to get warm, and then we'll jump into a bendy sequence. Pull your pants up, let's go. Feet hip width distance. Think about that external rotation we just had in that halfway lift. Same thing here, that's why we bring our shoulders back and you rotate your palms slightly forward here, as you're still working those external rotator muscles that support the upper spine. Good, pull in the belly, pull in the ribs. Inhale, stretch the arms up and overhead, let the scapula rise, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders to hips, take those airplane arms, palms down, external rotators firing. Exhale, bring your fingertips down, step the right leg back, drop the right knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down, step back to plank. Inhale on your plank, pull your belly in. Exhale, option to drop the knees, squeeze your shoulder blades as you lower down. Inhale, locust pose, lift the feet, lift the hands. Think about that external rotation, palms down. Feel your upper back muscles and those external rotator muscles pulling you up. And then exhale, hands down, tuck the toes. Down dog, you can roll through plank, or I really like rolling through a cow pose. Little extra back bend. Good, inhale, right leg lifts up high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, step the foot through to the top. Drop your left knee. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, fingertips down and step forward. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders up, external rotators working. We're using spine muscles here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, soften the knees, push down to grow. Reach, reach, reach. Maybe a little back bend if you feel like it. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good, left side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, rotate those arms down, airplane. Exhale, fingertips down, step the left leg back, drop the knee. Inhale, arms sweep you up. You can always add a little back bend if you're feeling warm. Exhale, hands plant, plank. Inhale in your plank, heart pulls forward. Exhale, shoulder blade squeeze as you lower. Inhale, low kiss, feel those external rotators lift. Exhale, hands down, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Think about the hands, think about the arms. And bring our focus to shoulders today. Push, push, push that floor away. Feel your scapula grow to your ears. It's okay, don't push them down. Let your shoulder blades rise to the ears. Inhale, lift your left leg up high. Exhale, step your foot through anyway. Drop your knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fingertips down, step forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Let's get a little bit bendier now that we've established our pace and our breath. Inhale, arms stretch up. Exhale, do a pull up. You can bring your hands to fist, pull your lats and shoulders down, arch the spine, little back bend. Belly in, butt squeezes, hips go forward is what I'm trying to say. Good. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, use those spine muscles, palm spins down. Exhale, fingertips down, step the right leg back. Feel free to drop the knee or keep it lifted. Inhale, arms up, high lunge. Exhale, do your pull up, squeeze it down, arch the spine. Your lats and your glutes work together, fun fact. They work and connect as an X on your back. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank. So if you want to work on spine strength, you've got to build the glutes and the lats together. Inhale on your plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, take a cobra pose. Keep the elbows bent, drag the hands to the back of the mat. Exhale, find downward dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up high. Exhale, roll forward to one-legged plank. Good. Ground down through your right hand. Stretch your left arm forward. Belly in. Take an inhale. Exhale, hand down, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, step the foot through. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, do your pull-up. Squeeze those shoulders down. Feel your back muscles work. Lift the heart, little back bend. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, fingertips down. Step forward. Inhale, halfway lift, palms down, airplane. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push the floor, rise up. Little back bend, exhale. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. So it seems like we're doing a lot of back bending, a lot of flowing, but that movement of the arm down is strengthening and warming up the lat area, which is what we want to be able to get deeper in our back bend, is to open the shoulders. That's our goal for today. Good. Standing in Tadasana for the left side, palms rotate forward. Feel those external rotators firing, shoulder blades together. Glutes hug. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, airplane those arms. Exhale, fingertips down, step the left leg back. Inhale, rise up to your lunge. Exhale, do your pull-up. Squeeze those shoulders down. Imagine that resistance and arch the spine. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, hands plant, step back to plank. Inhale on your plank, gather that strength. This is your time to be intentional. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, locust, up dog, whatever you want. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, roll forward plank. Lift your right hand, reach it forward, find that balance. Engaging both the front body core and the back body core. Good. Inhale. Exhale, hand down, three-legged dog. Inhale, push the floor away, push, push. Exhale, knee to nose, step the foot through. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, pull up. Squeeze those shoulders, active, active, active as you lift the chest. Feel your glutes engage. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fingertips down and step forward. Inhale, halfway lift, rotate the arms, airplane. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, push the floor, rise up. Exhale, pull up. You know what to do. Lift the chest, back bend. Ribs are free. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, hands to the heart and release. Good. We're gonna get into the QLs a little bit. Those other spine muscles that are gonna help give us some mobility. So you're still facing the front of your mat. I'm just facing you so you can see feet hip width distance. Inhale, arms reach up, interlace the fingers, except for your thumb and index finger. Exhale, up and over to the right. Let your hips move to the left, fingertips reach to the right. Use your right arm to pull your left arm. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, over to the left. Good, take a breath. Pull with that left arm. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, squeeze your glutes. Butt engage, do your pull up. Hug those shoulders down, lift the heart, back bend, soften the knees, let your hips go forward. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, airplane those arms. We're working those back arm muscles. Exhale, fingertips down, step back plank. Inhale and plank, get strong and aware and intentional. As you exhale, lower, squeeze those shoulder blades. Inhale, cobra, up dog, locust, wherever you want. Exhale, roll to your downward dog. Good, take a moment. The eyes closed. Come back to your Ujjayi breath. Bring your intention back, your attention with an A, back to your shoulders. Think about the hands and how we adjusted them at the beginning of class. Having that extra external rotation, having the webs of your fingers pointing forward, index fingers pointing out was helpful. Do that. Maybe try bringing the hands a little wider if that relieves any pinching in the shoulder. Feel those upper arm bones externally rotating. And then push the floor away. So often we're told in yoga to move your shoulders away from your ears when your arms are up and overhead. That is just not how the scapula works in this position. Let the shoulders rise up, reach, 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 and you're gonna get so much more motion as you push that floor. Good, on your inhale, lift that right leg up high, bend your knee, open your hip, heel to glute, keep that left heel down, try not to raise it up, try not to get out of control, just let the external rotation happen from the hip. Good, take an inhale, straighten the leg back out, three-legged dog. Exhale, pull your knee to your nose, step the foot through. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, do your pull up lift, cactus. Good, take a couple breaths here. If you'd like to, you can maybe start to stretch the arms up and overhead or bring your hands to your heart. The cactus is gonna be more active for sure, or you can reach the arms. Good. Inhale, push through the floor so your feet rise back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, twist to the right, just using your core. Exhale, hook that left elbow onto the right knee. Twisted crescent pose. The back leg is straight, belly is pulling in. If you lost those core muscles that you used to initially help you twist, then hover that left elbow. Don't let it touch, hover it. Use your core muscles to keep you twisting to the right, and then gently tap it down. And then use a little bit more leverage to help you push, but keep those core muscles working. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Our arms are no longer up and overhead, so you can draw those shoulders down, engaging those lats. Good. And then push your right knee into your left elbow. So now your outer glutes, your outer hips are working on that right leg, creating some resistance, creating something to push into. Good. Inhale, come back to center, reach up through the arms. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank. Inhale on your plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra, your options, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, come back to the arm bones. Push the floor away. Think about that cat pose. Inhale, lift that left leg up high. Bend your knee, open your hip. Heel hugs to the butt, knee up to the sky. Inhale, straighten the leg, square the hips. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the chest. So your low belly is working, but your ribs are free. Your rib cage keeps your thoracic spine from arching. So your arch is coming from where your thoracic spine and your lumbar spine meet, or closer to your sacrum, but it's not by your rib cage. Good, maybe stretch the arms forward. So you want to keep your ribs free, low belly in. Inhale, push the floor, grow tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, twist to the left, just using your belly. And then exhale, lower the right elbow down. Just tap the knee. Good, couple breaths here. Doing this delicious twist, shoulders moving away from the ears. The lats are engaging. And then push your right elbow into your knee, press your knee into your elbow. Feel that left butt cheek get super strong and active. So your left butt cheek, your left glute is working with that right lat muscle to create this protective duct tape like X around your back. Good, inhale, come back to center, stretch the arms up. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra, up dog, locust. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, feet hip width distance, close the eyes. Come back to that focus of the upper arm bones. Inhale, look forward, bend the knee. Exhale, step, walk, or hop. Inhale, halfway lift, airplane arms, strong spine muscles. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push through the floor, rise up. Exhale, hands to the heart. And release it down. Good, working on a little bit more back bending, one more salutation sequence, and then we'll start to get a little bit deeper into the shoulders, a bit deeper into the spine, and then we'll start, I'm out of breath. I'm gonna grab a sip of water. I see a lot of you grabbing water, so I'm gonna do it too. All right, feet hip width distance. Make your Tadasana intentional. It's not just standing at the top of your mat waiting for the teacher to tell you what to do. It's a very grounding, strong posture with a lot of activity. You're pushing the floor. Your glutes are hugging. Your belly is in. You're cinching through the waist by pushing the floor and growing taller. Your external rotators are working in those arms, palms slightly forward, shoulders pull down, ears over shoulders. Woo, now there's a lot going on here. Now keep all of that. Just inhale, reach the arms up, forward and up. Let those shoulders grow up, grow tall, pull the ribs in. Good, now pull up, shoulders down, lats down, glute squeeze. You want your glutes and lats working together. Good, arch the spine. Good, stay for an extra breath. Knees bent, hips forward. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, fold. Woo. Inhale, halfway lift, airplane those arms, still working on those upper arms. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale, lower down. Good, this time inhale, rise up to locust, hands back, palms spin down, shoulders pull away from the ears. And then bring your heels together. I normally don't cue this, but bring your heels together. That's gonna make your legs externally rotate. It's gonna get those outer glutes firing. Good, pull your belly in, lift up higher. And then exhale, release it down. Take a breath. Good, come to a kind of easy Sphinx position, as if Sphinx weren't easy enough. So your elbows are just wide. It's kind of in this lazy Sphinx position. Untuck your toes. Reach your left leg up without pushing your belly or your ribs into the mat. So you're just using your glute, you're using your hamstring to lift that leg. It doesn't, if it's here, I don't care. If it's up here, make sure that you're not overextending the spine and make sure you're not pushing your belly down into the mat. This is all coming from your paraspinal muscles, your glute, your hamstring. Then reach your right arm forward, look down at the mat. Right arm reaches forward, palm turned in, so you're getting that external rotation of the arms as you stretch your fingertips forward. Good. Now turn your right hand into a fist. Imagine you're pulling on a resistance band. Pull that fist back into that cactus position. Good. Hold here. So now your right lat and your left glute are working together. You're strengthening that diagonal of back body tissue. One of the best kind of motions you can do, whether you're trying to strengthen your spine for SI joint issues, disc issues, or just taking care of your body. Good. Keep creating that resistance with that right arm. Take a breath in and then exhale. Whew, release. I always feel that so deeply on the right side of my spine. Good. Lift the head, coming back to this kind of easy Sphinx position. This time, without using your belly or pushing your ribs down or arching the spine, just lift that right leg. You don't have to be overzealous about it. Reach your left arm forward, palm turned in, so that external rotation of the upper arm bone. Reach through the fingers. Turn your left hand into a fist and imagine you're pulling on that super strong resistance band. Pull, pull, pull that shoulder down. Feel your left lats on the left side of your body really engaged. Good. Neck is neutral. Keep that resistance in the arm. Maybe lift that right leg a little higher. Feel your glute get strong. Excellent. Lift a little bit higher. Take a breath in. And exhale, release it down. Good. Now this time, easy Sphinx position, elbows wide, belly in. Lift the feet. They might not go as high because you're lifting them together. Bring your heels to touch. If you hate bringing your heels to touch, don't do it. I don't care. It's fine. This is just another way to get those glutes firing. Reach both your arms forward, palms turned in. Neck is neutral. Good. Let your shoulder blades go up to your ears. Stretch the fingers. Maybe start to turn your palms upward, like your pinky fingers are scooping up. Whoa, hello, spine muscles. Belly is pulling in. You're not pushing the belly down. Lift the legs. Lift the chest. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. We often think of back bending as flexibility of the spine, as creating softness in the spine, when it's truly the opposite. When we sit, when we're hunched, our spine is lengthened. When we're back bending, our spinal muscles are shortened. So what we're doing now is we're helping create that shortness, that strength. We're counteracting, let's head to downward dog or child's pose. We're counteracting the lengthened state of our spine muscles that they're in most of the day. So back bending is important for a gajillion reasons that I talk a lot about. It's truly one of the best things we can work on in modern society, just because we don't back bend during the day. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up high. Exhale, roll forward to a one-legged plank. Ground down through your left hand. Come to the inside of your left foot. Bring your right toes down behind you. So you're kind of in this cross-legged funky plank pose. And then push the floor with that left arm. Stretch your right arm up and behind you, coming into a wild thing. So maybe you're in this kind of side plank wild thing. Totally cool. If you have more range, turn your toes to the back of your mat. Lift the hips up. Push the floor, arch the spine. Let the head drop back. Don't tuck the chin. Let the head drop back. Wild thing. Good. Maybe you start to spin your left hand around so that your right hand can touch coming into wheel. Not, doesn't matter. Coming back into your wild thing if you're in wheel. Both hands down. Send that right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Good. Exhale, right leg comes to the front of your mat. Drop your left knee down. Inhale, sweep those arms up, reach. Pause here. Bring your fingertips to your ribs. Push your ribs back. Good. Strong belly. Then, with that control, keep your core in. Oh, it's really hard to teach and do that at the same time. Stretch your arms forward. So you're creating that protraction of the shoulders, and then let the arms go up. Pinky fingers slightly turned in. Good. Notice if you feel like you've got a little bit more range in the shoulders. Maybe not, that's okay. But that's our goal. Our goal is we're targeting the shoulders to back bend. Good. Now from here, let the ribs go. Low belly still in. Let the ribs go forward as you let the hips go forward. So now we're creating extension in the spine. Hips forward and getting stretched. Front body being stretched. Back body being shortened. Good. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, hands plant. Step back to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale, lower down. Couple of more active back bend. And then we're gonna head to our viparita, which is our peak for today, which is more accessible than wheel, I have found. So from your belly, forehead down, locust pose. Inhale, lift the head, lift the hands, lift the feet, palms down. Feel those external rotators work, push through the fingers. Good, now keep all that. Stretch the arms forward. Good. Reach through the fingers, let the shoulder blades lift, and then pull your thumbs back. Back, 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 hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Bend your knees. Hands find your feet or your ankles. Bow pose. So the inverse of one of the postures we're working on today. Pull your navel in, remembering you're not pushing the floor, the belly into the floor. We do that a lot when we're trying to compensate. Pull your belly in. Hug your shoulder blades back. Take an inhale. Push into the feet, lift the knees, lift the chest. Neck is nice and long and neutral. Kick your feet into your hands even more. Feel your thighs get strong, your hamstrings work. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Good. Plant the hands down. Find downward facing dog. I'm going to switch directions just so you can see. Same thing as we did on the other side. We're going to move through a wild thing. You'll hang out in your wild thing or roll towards the wheel. Inhale, lift your left leg up high. Exhale, roll forward, one-legged plank. Three-legged plank. One-legged plank would be impressive. Spin onto your right side, plant your left foot down, sweep your left hand up and over, pinky fingers still down, palms still down towards the floor. Maybe you're here today. If you find more range in your spine, toes turn back, push the floor with your feet, push down through your hands, down through your heels. Shorten the back body lift. Good. Let the head drop. Then if you want to head to wheel, start to spin your right palm towards the front, allowing, it's hard to talk and do at the same time, allowing your hands to come down into your wheel. We'll all do have a chance for wheel at a different point. This is just a different addition if you'd like. Good. If you're in wheel, head back to wild thing. From wild thing, head back to your three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale. Step your left foot through. Drop your right knee. Inhale, arms up. Ribs in. Arms reach. Pull the thumbs back in space. Feel that strength in your lats work to pull your arms back. And then exhale, keep the ribs soft as you push the hips forward. coming into your back bend. Take a breath. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands plant, downward dog. Good, drop to your knees. Grab either a block or foam roller, just something. You can do 2 blocks, just something to go across the top of your mat. We're basically coming into a puppy pose using elevating our triceps. Bring your elbows down, palms together. And then think about it. Our arms are up and overhead. Shoulders are going into flexion. So what do we want to do? We want the ribs to pull in. We want the shoulders to protract. So kind of like cat pose. And then you want those shoulder blades to rise up to the ears. Keep that. Melt the forehead down towards the floor. If it rests on your props, that's fine too. And then bring your attention to your fingertips. Push your fingertips together and pull your palms apart. So it's kind of like you're doing this shape, like you're holding an orb between your hands in some kind of scary movie. That's the first thing that comes into my mind. And so what that does is now your hands and your forearms are coming into this more externally rotated position. Your fingertips are creating that thing to kind of push into. Good, rise back up, unroll. Whew, that always gets me in all the right places. All right, friends, we're gonna head onto our backs. We're gonna play with wheel and then viparita. Even though wheel is harder than viparita, we always do the thing that's hardest first because it prepares us for the easier thing. So if you do wheel and you really prefer it with blocks under the wrist at a wall, feel free to do that. Today, I'm going to cue through to standard on the mat because we did a lot of warm up with the shoulders. We did a lot of warm up with the wrists already. So we should be in a good position. Another thing is if you find that you instinctually lift onto your heels in your wheel pose, that you really like having the heels lifted, that's not wrong. That's another really good adjustment. Sometimes it can feel really nice to bring blocks under your feet as you prepare for your wheel. So if you feel like that might help, go ahead and go there too. Otherwise, what we're going to do is come onto our backs, and we'll start with the bridge to prep. So from your bridge, make little robot arms. So your palms are facing each other, fingertips towards the sky. Feet are underneath the knees. A good way to check is to just look. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, push down through your elbows. Push down and lift your hips. Whoa, feel now all that lightness that you have in your upper back. Your shoulder blades draw together. It feels really nice. Option to keep your robot arms or go ahead and let them come down, palms face up. Push down through your heels, feel your glutes engage. Pull your navel to your spine. Often again, this is a pose where I find I instinctually just kind of push my belly up, pull your belly down. Good. Legs are super strong, big toe mounds active, legs magnetizing towards one another. Take a breath in, and then exhale, robot arms, slowly lower back down. If that felt good for you, if you're like, that was sublime, I want to do that 5 more times, go for it. Bridge will be your friend today. Bridge is an amazing pose. Those of you who want to venture to wheel, you'll follow along with me. Feet. Let's do a little modification today. Since we're doing this over Zoom and I can't see you right now, and everyone's in different places, I'm just going to take the safe route or the route that works for a lot of people so that we don't have to fine tune later. So bring your feet actually a little bit wider than you normally would. So normally we stack everything. Bring your feet like a little inch over. And if you have knee issues, let your toes turn out. Doesn't matter if they have to be straight. And then bring your hands by your ears, fingertips towards the front of the room. Now, this is where, again, you can turn the hands slightly out, just like we did with our downward dog. Having your fingertips totally forward is a lot of extension and the flexion, rather, in the wrist right here. So what you can do is just turn the hands out a little bit. There's a lot of weird rules in yoga that very specific people must have made. And then think about those robot arms we just did. Push down through the hands, let your shoulder blades hug together. When you're ready, take a breath in, push through the floor, rise up. You can stop on the crown of your head if you want, or just keep going, press up to your wheel. Now, once you're in your wheel, adjust. If your feet feel too wide, if you feel like you need to turn your toes out more, if you need to step your feet in, you can. I want you to spread your fingers, and I want you to think about all that shoulder work we did. I want you to push through the floor. Push, 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 and then push your chest through your arms, like you're trying to straighten your legs. Let your head be relaxed, but don't let the lats relax. Push, push, push the floor with those hands. Belly in. Maybe step the feet in. Good. Take a couple breaths here. I'm going to hop out, keep at the screen. Good. And then when you're ready, lower down. Amazing. Oh, that's a cat tail. I was like, is that someone's like victory arm in the air? All right. So we're going to do another wheel just like that before heading to viparita, and I'll demo Dwi. So this is a good time to reevaluate. Maybe bring blocks under the feet, maybe under the wrists, maybe step the feet in closer, maybe step them wider. Prepare yourself, hands by the ears, fingertips forward. If clocking the hands out worked for you, do it again. It's a great adjustment. Belly in, take an inhale. When you're ready, push the floor, lift up, come into your wheel. Again, think about that external rotation and those lats. Push the floor, push, 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 push. Excellent. And then push hard, and then let the chest go between the arms. As if there's a wall behind you, try and bring your chest towards the wall. Good. And then when you're ready, calm down. Pause. Okay. Now, like I said, viparita is more accessible than wheel. So if you don't know what viparita is, I can't remember the full name, which is why I'm just calling it viparita, because I know it starts with that. Viparita is coming down onto your forearms. And for a really long time, I thought this was a lot harder than wheel because I didn't have Jason Crandell show me literally the freaking easiest way to get into this pose. And I was like, holy shit. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be easier for you than wheel. Maybe there's certain areas of the body that are a hindrance for this pose. But I have found that for a lot of my friends who are doing my teacher training with me, they had the exact same reaction. They were like, oh my gosh, I never would have thought I could do that pose. And then I did. So you set up the same way you did for wheel, but the one thing is you're going to stop when you come onto the crown of your head. So you set up the same way, lifting the hips. And what you want to do is lift onto the head. And the one issue with this pose is people go back here. You see how far my head is from my hands? You want to push the floor and bring your head right in between your hands. Then you're just going to interlace your hands behind your head. Bring the elbows down. There you go. You're in viparita. And then if this feels okay, maybe you push the elbows down, and you can see I'm pushing through my heels, lifting my hips, and I'm able to go a little bit deeper. Then maybe you take a couple steps in. Maybe you push down through the elbows a little bit more, and your head lifts. Your head does not have to lift, but eventually your chest goes forward so much your head can lift. And you come into the shape, and this feels so good in the chest. And then when you come out, head down, hands down. If you want to go into a wheel, if people are watching you, always go into a wheel. Just kidding. And then come all the way down. There you go. All right. So I'm going to talk you through it. I'm going to watch just so I can make sure that everyone's doing it smoothly. But I'll show you one more time. Hands by the ears. You're going to roll up through a bridge, head on the mat, then pick up your head and bring it closer to your hands. Then interlace your hands, okay? And if you're like, no, thank you, ma'am, check, please. Take a bridge or wheel again, whatever's calling for you. Good. Think about head between the hands and then interlace them behind the neck, behind the skull. Good. Good. Head down, hands interlace. Nice. I find that I'm really sweaty and my forearms grip my mat. Often I push through my feet and then I just end up pushing myself back. Like just, yeah, like I'm just like pushing myself like a turtle back in space. So there've been a couple of times where I've practiced this pose with my head against the wall just so I don't do that, or I just make sure that my mat is sticky enough to where my forearms don't slide, but that definitely happens. Awesome. This looks amazing, you guys. All right, let's get that cool down going. From your back, roll over onto your belly and come into downward dog. And then let the eyes close. Let this feel like the easiest down dog ever. Like as little effort as you can do to stay in this downward dog. That feel good. Just taking a moment to let the spine neutralize, let everything kind of return back to normal. And then lift your right leg up. On your exhale, shift forward to a one-legged plank. Bring your right knee to your right wrist and pause. Use the strength of your outer hip flexors to pivot the shin. And then lower your shin down exactly where your hip flexors put them. Something I've been playing with in my practice is hands-free yoga, where I'm not going to my hip, grabbing my foot, bringing it here, and then going into the pose. I'm letting my muscular strength dictate where my postures go. Pull your right hip back, lift it forward, inhale, and then exhale, sink down, forward fold. Let your head rest on your hands, your mat, a block, whatever you have. Just let this feel easy. Those of you who are really flexible in the outer hip, I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are. I want you to bring just a teensy bit of activity here. And everybody can too. It's not a bad thing too. In fact, everybody should, but if you are really like, no, after all that, we did a lot of glute activation today. If you're like, I want a passive pigeon pose, take a passive pigeon pose. But if you're wanting just a little bit of a different experience here, just push your right knee into the ground a little bit. Push your shin into the ground just a little bit, like 10%. And just feel your right glute, your right outer hip muscles just kind of click on just a teensy bit. And that's just going to help you stay in a more active stretch where your muscles are strong and they're lengthened position. And it will help if you tend to have, especially if you tend to have low back issues and SI joint issues. So on your inhale, lift your head up. Press through your hands, tuck your back toes, and send that right leg up and back. Give it a couple circles. Good. Come back to your downward dog. Pause a moment. Same thing, easiest down dog ever. Just enough muscular strength to keep you in the shape. And inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, roll forward to a one-legged plank. Bring your left knee to your left wrist. Use your outer hip muscles, pivot the shin, and lower down exactly where it told you to go. Lower the hips. Good. And then when you're ready, fold. And same thing, if you're wanting a little bit more of an active experience in this pose, a little press down of the knee. A little bit like you're trying to drag your shin bone back to the back of your mat. Good. On your next breath in, or when you're ready, rise out through the torso. Plant the hands on that left leg up and back. Circle it out. And then lower the leg down. From here, lift your right leg. Exhale, bring it back towards your pigeon pose. Lower the hips. And then sink to your right. Swing your left leg forward. So your right leg is bent. I don't think my thing is mirrored. Oh, it is mirrored. I think it is. Anyways, right leg is bent. But evenly on your sits bones, Gomukhasana pose. Cross your left knee to stack over your right knee. This is not available to you. Just bring your left leg in front of your right in a crisscross applesauce position, but I want your shin bones more parallel, like they're stacked, rather than having your feet really pulled in towards the crotch. So bring your arms to a T. Bring your right palm up, reach it up towards the sky. Think about all those things we did today. Pinky finger in, let the shoulder blade go up. And then without using any muscle, any other hands to force yourself, take that right hand, bring it behind your neck. Good, notice if the ribs are flaring, pull them back just a little bit. Then take that left hand, thumb down, internally rotate. Good. And then for today, don't grab your shirt, don't use a strap. You can interlace fingers if you want, but I want this a little bit more active today, where if you're here, then that's fine. And I want you to imagine you're pulling your left hand down and you're pulling your right hand up. Just recruiting more muscles to help. You're just creating a little bit more strength through your rotator cuff of that left shoulder, through the lat, and the external rotators of that right arm. And then slowly release the arms down. Fingers wide or on your feet, which is traditional, but whatever. And then forward fold as much as you can. Good. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. We're gonna break dance our way out of here. Press into your hands, lean forward and straighten both legs. If you're in Gomukhasana, if you're not in Gomukhasana, just switch legs. If you're in Gomukhasana, turn to the right, then behind you, then to the left, and forward, bend the knees and lower down. Or if you are doing crisscross, right leg in front, shins parallel, kind of like fire log pose. And same thing, arms to a T, left palm turns up, reach your left arm up, stretch up, get your scapula to rise, and then bring that hand behind your neck or upper back, wherever it reaches. Don't use your left hand to force it somewhere. We're working on strength. It's not as fun, but it's better for you. Right finger, right thumb down, internally rotate, bring it behind you. Let it crawl up as high as it can go, but don't use a strap, don't grab your shirt, don't use traction. And then I like to turn my hands into fists and imagine I'm pulling a strap apart. So my left hand is pulling up, my right hand is kind of pulling down. Woo, getting a little bit more activity going on. Ribs in towards the spine. Good, and then slowly release. Fingertips wide and forward fold as much as is comfortable for you. If sitting straight up is comfortable for you, sit straight up. This pose always reminds me how much mobility is related to strength. For me, this posture and forward folding into it and not feeling like my hips are going to break off makes me think of how much stronger my hips have gotten. Because this is a pose, go ahead and rise up, where when I first, actually not when I first started doing yoga, I mean, I'm talking up until a couple years ago, where my legs were like this. My inner thighs would cramp up and my outer hips were in so much pain. And it's that strength and length theory that I've been talking about a lot in my classes, that your muscles will relax. My hips are not more open, but the joints of my hips are the same as they have been since they fused together, probably in puberty. But my muscles have said, okay, I trust you now. I am now strong enough to where I trust I have the strength where you can go into this shape and I'm not going to pinch and pull and give your brain signals that, no, this is not good to do. I'm not ready for this yet. So go ahead and untie the legs, bring them forward. Feet wide, windshield wipers. Jason said in their training first module that learning about the body is profoundly spiritual, but a lot of teachers think they're spiritual teachers or they think they're technical teachers. They think they're anatomy teachers. But I completely believe that learning about the body is so profoundly spiritual, because you learn just how truly miraculous our bodies are and how intricate and exquisite they are. And there's no room for self-hate. There's no room for self-loathing or any sort of negative emotions when you learn about just how fantastically amazing these bodies are. And anyways, I'm getting off topic here. I'm going on a spiel. I think you get what we're saying. Let's grab a block or foam roller, whatever you have, pillows. Lift the hips, bring your block under. It would not be a Kaylee class without supported bridge. A nice little supported back bend. The block or prop or pillows are right underneath that sacrum, just to get that amazing stretch and length through the back. We'll just take a couple breaths here. If you're really craving legs up the wall, you can bring your legs up or knees to chest. Push down through your feet, lift the heels, and remove the block if you're ready. It's your practice. I can't see you from here. I don't have my glasses on, so if you want to stay here longer, feel free to stay. Bring your arms wide. Lift your hips up. Move them to the left just a touch. And drop your knees over to the right. Supine twist. Bringing your knees in line with your hips. You're completely on the right hip. If your knees are staggered, totally fine. Especially if you have SI joint issues, totally fine if your knees are a little more staggered. Sounded like a bomb just went off in my house. Good. Inhale, use your belly, draw the knees back up. Give your hips a little shift to the right. The knees fall to the left. Inhale, come back up to center. Hip center. Keep your hands where they are. Draw your knees in. Come into a happy baby pose without using your hands. So knees turn out, feet up towards the sky. Just one moment here. Just getting a little bit of activity in the pose before we make it really relaxing and nice. And then bring your hands to the inside of your legs, grab the inside of your heels, which allows your legs to have a little bit more clearance from the torso. Just a couple breaths here, a little rock side to side. If you'd like to straighten one leg at a time or both, you can. Letting the eyes close, letting go of your Ujjayi breath. Letting go of the physical effort of your practice. Still keeping that mindfulness on our intention, on our breath, on our body, on our senses, but just letting go of the work of the sweat, the tapas, the discipline, the fire of our asana practice. And then when you're ready, take a deep breath in and exhale, slowly unroll, coming into your shavasana. Your back, is it all feeling sensitive from our back bending journey? Feet wide, knees touch, this TP position. Or if supported bridge felt good, you can head back there. And let the eyes close. I'm going to walk you through just a very quick and brief nidra before we sink into silence. Bring your awareness to your right leg. And imagine that your right leg is sinking away from your left. It's moving away from the center. And bring your awareness to your left leg. From your hip all the way down to your foot. Imagine that your leg is sinking to the left, moving away from your right. It's kind of like sand moving down in a dune, just kind of how it falls to the side. Bring your awareness to your right side body, your hip all the way up through the rib cage and your right shoulder. Imagine your right side body and shoulder are sinking away from the left. Bringing your awareness to the left side, your hip up to your left shoulder. Imagine that left shoulder is sinking down into the left, gradually becoming more spread thin over your mat. Bring your awareness to your right arm, your right fingertips up to the top of your right shoulder. Imagine your right arm is sinking towards the right, moving away from the left side. And bringing your awareness to the left arm, fingertips to your shoulder. Imagine that left arm is sinking down into the left. Bringing your awareness to the base of the right side of your neck, all the way to the right side of your crown. Imagine that from your neck to your crown, even the sides of your face, your cheeks, your brows, your eyelids are sinking to the right. Bring your awareness to the left side, the base of your neck up to the left side of your crown. They're sinking away from the right, moving down into the left. And then bring your awareness to your right toes, all the way through the right side of your crown, the entire right side body. Imagine it moving away from the left. And then your left toes up to the left side of your crown. You're sinking down into the left, sinking away from the right, away from the midline. Without moving, just start to bring your awareness back. Let any sounds you hear start to bring your mind back into your body. And then just feel your body. Feel what it feels like to be completely plugged in and integrated. Only when you're ready, take a breath in and stretch the arms up and overhead from your fingertips all the way through your toes. And then slowly roll over onto your favorite side and pause there in your fetal position. Notice what shifts have occurred mentally, spiritually, energetically. And think of one thing you feel grateful for. And once you've given thanks, keep the eyes closed as you make your way up to a comfortable seat. Hands pressing together at your heart, symbolizing feeling in your practice. Head bowed towards your fingertips. Come back to the intention you set 75 minutes ago. Take a moment to feel gratitude for yourself for making it onto your mat on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday we've had. Thank yourself for putting into work, thinking about those shifts that you thought of and knowing that no one else did that you did that. That magic of transformation lies within you. And each yoga practice is our opportunity to transform, to experience metamorphosis. Guide your thumbs up to your third eye center. Let's feel in this practice with one final breath as a group. Take an inhale. Inside out. Loka samasta, sukhi no bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free once quarantine is over. Namaste.